Welcome to Dicejunkies, and this is Perception Check, episode 15. We talk about some new Netflix series that are coming out, as well as we say some goodbyes to some great people that passed on this week. So, check us out and listen. Welcome to Dicejunkies, and I'm here with
Q.
Damien.
And I'm Xenodamus. Hope you enjoy. So we're going to go ahead and just move right into the news. And one of the things that happened this week is we got the Gifted trailer. Now, we actually mentioned this last week when we had the teaser, and it said May 15th. And I actually thought May 15th was when the show was coming out. Mm-hmm. But apparently it was just the actual trailer was coming out on May 15th. So anyway, we got to see that. It did shine a lot of light on what it was. So, anybody want to start talking on that?
Yeah, go ahead. You guys know.
I mean, it looked really good. I'll go ahead and, the trailer looked good. I was really surprised. It definitely looked better than Logan. I mean, not Logan, Legion. It is supposed to tie in with the X-Men universe, not necessarily the movies or anything like that, but the X-Men will be involved, and they even said to expect to see X-Men characters in the show. So,
yeah, I mean, Legion is in its own universe, and actually, I think you may be wrong. I think they're trying to say it's going to tie to Fox's version of X-Men's universe.
Well, their version of the X-Men universe, but we don't know what their version of the X-Men universe necessarily is right now.
That's right. I mean, depending on where they pop it. I mean, at this point, there's two versions already, because there's like the rewritten time history, and then there's the original, and for all we know, this could tie to either one. And then also there's Logan. Technically, there's that slightly further in the future where mutants are nearly extinct.
Well, and this doesn't seem to go that far from the footage, but it does seem to go to a point where the mutants have been being hunted, and are pretty much, they don't know if the X-Men are around or exist anymore, or the Brotherhood. They sort of, the mutants have gone pretty much underground at this point, is what it seems like.
That's why I'm wondering if when they say they're going to tie the movie, if they're actually going to go with the X-Men's time frame, maybe after the X-Men Apocalypse. But honestly, because they mentioned the Brotherhood, and in the current X-Men universe, they kind of don't exist. I mean, you think about it, like, starting Apocalypse, the movie, X-Men Apocalypse, Magneto had left, and you didn't see any of the people from the Brotherhood, and, like, Mystique was doing her own thing. So the fact they mentioned the Brotherhood makes me wonder if this is happening after Logan. Because the Brotherhood isn't together.
Logan, dude. I'm just looking at it. It's not happening after Logan.
I guess,
because after Logan is too high tech and too.
Really, how much was really over the top, though? I mean, other than auto trucks and some cybernetics, that was about all I saw in the movie.
But I mean, it's just, it wasn't as damaged. It didn't look as damaged as the Logan universe. I don't see this being at that point, plus the fact that there are mutants, because by Logan there weren't really any mutants left,
not a lot, and they were trying to rebreed, kind of bring them back. That's why I was wondering if maybe there was a possibility that they might go at the angle that the mutants are coming back. Otherwise, where are the X-Men and the Brotherhood?
I think this is going to have its own little storyline. I don't think it's going to be tightly woven into the X-Men or the X-Men movies. I think it's just the X-Men universe is how it felt to me when they were talking about it. And there may be some cameos, but, I mean, they didn't even say that it was going to be the same actors that they've had play in the movies.
One of the actors already changed, because one of the characters, I'm not going to spoil it if anybody's not done any research on it, but a character that appeared in one of the X-Men movies is appearing in the show. At least that particular mutant. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily that same character, but that mutant. And they were billed as that mutant in the movie. So whether that's going to supposedly be the same one, that's the other reason I'm kind of getting at. Because the mutant that they're referencing appeared in Futures Past in that later timeline. Before it got reset. So that's why I was like...
Yeah. like I said, I don't know where exactly they're going with that. I think it's going to be pretty loose when it hits the X-Men side of it.
But the action, the key part, you notice you mentioned Legion. We're not knocking Legion, saying the Legion isn't a good show.
No, it's just different.
It says Legion is a drama.
Yes.
And this looks like an action show.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of special effects, a lot of power, at least for the trailer. They may have been cherry picking, but the trailer showed a lot of action.
Yeah.
And some decent looking special effects.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be well worth checking out.
We'll check it out and tell you what we think.
Definitely. Anybody else got anything on that? Next, I mean, we had, this isn't necessarily as much geek as it is us. You know, me and Damien saw, Chris Cornell passed this week at age 52. Now, this is, Chris Cornell's a huge part of my childhood as far as music goes with Soundgarden. And even after with Audio Slave in my college days. And so, I mean.
Well, that
it
was
sad to see him go.
my 20s, So
Yeah.
I kind of, and that was really my first introduction to alternative and grunge.
Well, I mean, the grunge scene and the Seattle alternative scene was definitely influenced a lot by Chris Cornell and Soundgarden. I mean, they were around back in, I think, 1983, 1984, when Soundgarden first. Now, they hit big during the grunge scene with Nirvana and all that in the early 90s. And that's where most people are going to remember them. That's where I remember them from, is that 90s period. Especially with Black Hole Sun and,
Yeah, I had to get educated on that one. They had to jog me for a while, but then they hit Black Hole Sun, and even I was like, okay, that song was awesome.
And I mean, he had a solo career for a bit. Then he went to Audio Slave, and then they've sort of been out of it for a bit, and he picked up solo again. And then Soundgarden's coming back now, and then this happens. So, sad day, but
Definitely.
we'll move on past that. Now, this one looked really interesting. Netflix is supposedly producing The Witcher TV series. So this is based off the Witcher games, and it's going to be a new Netflix series. So, I mean, I thought that the Witcher games controlled horribly, so I really couldn't get into playing them. But the story was interesting. It had a good plot to it. Had a really good story to it. Like, I wish I could have dredged through those controls to really play the full game.
I own like all of them, and I
do
still
too.
can't play through them because it's just like, I thought Dark Souls was rough, man, but I think I'd rather play more Dark Souls.
Yeah,
but the story was great.
I love the story. I will sit for hours and watch somebody on YouTube play the Witcher series.
Yeah.
I can't do it. It's just the controls. I can't do it. But I love all the games, and the fact that they're bringing it to a TV series.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. Somebody's got to be the guy to kind of throw a little darkness on it. And my first question is that unfortunately, because it's so popular and because it's so well written, unlike your average video game to TV series, I'm actually really concerned about their ability to do this justice, A. And B, it did have, one of the greatest things about the game was how the story and decisions you made carried over. So they're going to have to pick, unless they do an original and don't follow the video game specifically, they're going to have to pick a storyline. And, not everybody might want the same flavor on that.
Well, and I mean, that's just going to happen, dude. And that's anytime you make a video game movie. They usually don't stick with the storyline very much anyway because of that, because it all does have to do with how a person played the game. I think Witcher has a big enough universe and a elaborate enough theme to it that they don't have to necessarily go with the video game story. They can make an original story based on that character instead of trying to just put the video game on.
That's
on
what I'm
screen.
saying. Like, I'd actually hope they didn't do Geralt because he's not the only freaking Witcher.
Yeah,
Like, it's a whole organization and they're cool.
Yeah,
I would
I mean,
just like to see them do about the Witcher. and not try to tell Geralt's story in one particular way, because I doubt anybody made the calls I made. I'll tell you, I was kind of out there.
Do we know, though, if they're doing Geralt's story? Like, I really have very little information on it, other than they are doing a Witcher.
I don't see them showing who they're casting just yet. Yeah, no release date of casting.
There's no release date. It's just, hey, we're doing a Witcher series, you know. So, it could... Being it's The Witcher, though, I don't know.
See, that's the thing. I want it to be Geralt.
I'm actually... Okay, so I'm... the reason I'm fine with it is because I couldn't play the game. Like, maybe if I played the game and I made the decisions...
I mean, I got all the way up to game 2, so that might be why. Like, I did get through all of game 1, I got to game 2, and then I was like, oh, man, this is kind of rough to play. Mm-hmm. And I kind of hated that, but I'm just saying, the decisions weren't small.
Yeah.
They were big, and I'm like, wonder what story.
And I hear it was easier to play on console. I'm a PC gamer, and it was a port to PC, so a lot of people say the controls just didn't translate very well over to PC. So I almost wish I had a console just to see if this game was easier to play on the console.
Don't know if they have it on Xbox One. If they do, I might give it another go.
Yeah.
But I'd have to start over because I don't want to lose the decisions I made.
Yeah, no, that's the sad thing and a big problem with gaming. I mean, I had it with Mass Effect. Like, I played one of the Mass Effects on the console, and then I was like, oh, no, it wasn't Mass Effect. It was Dragon Age that I'd played on the console, and then... Or I played on the PC Dragon Age, the original Dragon Age, and I got Dragon Age 2 on the console, and I couldn't port the decisions over.
Let's jump to our next.
Yep. So next we have Powers Booth passed away. Now, I'm not very familiar with this actor. Damien has a little more familiarity. The big thing is he was an actor in Deadwood, Sin City, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I think you also said he was in...
Red Dawn, the original Red Dawn.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I first saw him. He's done other acting that's not associated with, shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff like that, but I don't really watch those. I don't really watch the drama stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I recalled him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I recalled him in Red Dawn. I thought he was a really good actor, and I hated to see him go.
All right. So, there you go. Next, we have, we're back to Netflix, with a Dark Crystal prequel series coming to Netflix. So.
Now, it's very important, though, that we definitely clarify prequel, and I noticed you put the emphasis on that, because there was already some complaining.
No. As soon as you say Dark Crystal, there's going to be backlash. There's going to be backlash because he's like, no, don't screw with my Dark Crystal.
Right.
You're going to mess it up. And even as a prequel, you still have that chance of messing it up because this is coming before the... So, I mean, there could be continuity issues. There could be...
Yeah, because it's the story of the Skeksis. I mean, like, I don't even know what there is to prequel on this, man.
Oh, well, I mean, they can go back. They can do, the Gelflings. They can, I mean, there's a lot of things that they can do in a prequel. I'm just going to be honest. I don't like them messing with the Dark Crystal at all. Mm-hmm. But if they're going to do anything, do a prequel.
Well, for a sequel.
It's also going to be a series.
I mean, I'm like, what Quinn normally says is just use the world. Don't mess with the story. Yeah. Just use the world. I would be fine with that.
I'll be honest, like, when I watched Dark Crystal as a kid, this was a movie that I adored.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a big fan of the movie and everything. Recently, I tried to rewatch it, and I couldn't do it. It did not translate well into my adult time. Mm-hmm. So then again, at the same time I look at this, I'm like, honestly, is this something I even want?
I mean, who the heck's going to watch it? I mean, it's a Dark Crystal prequel, though, so it's for adults. But here's the problem. Is it going to be another Star Wars prequel? Are the puppets going to be super realistic and amazing to the point that everybody like, hey, that was awesome. I'm going to go watch Dark Crystal. Why does everything look so low-tech?
Yeah.
I mean, they're either going to have to use the same thing you have a problem with, which is the really older style to keep it in theme, which unfortunately may not stand up to modern day standards, or they're going to do new standards, and they're either going to have to redo the Dark Crystal to go with it, which I'm not really up for.
Yeah.
Or they're just going to have to go, check this awesome prequel. And it's like, this.
Yeah. This awesome prequel to this.
I can see that dude's hand. You know, like, is there a guy standing behind there doing this with, okay, well, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is a bit of a issue. I
Who wanted this?
I don't know. Like, I'm sort of, I will watch it. I'm going to go and I'm going to check it out. I'm not going to say I'll finish it.
Well, that's because I have Netflix, but I'd rather see a new Dark Crystal series that's just another story. Sorry, you covered that. Give me a new story.
But I mean, from what we have, it will run 10 episodes and it will
Puppets.
be puppets.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, it's going to be puppets.
and that's pretty much what we
It
got.
said there will be puppets. It didn't say it was all puppets.
Yeah.
Maybe it's going to be crossover. Mix some live action in.
Next, I mean, we did have a little thing in the news about there being a hidden Steam game. We actually did some research on it. It was an article that had just come out, but we actually ended up doing some research on it to find out the games have been there for years and years in Steam. And it's like every few years it seems like the hidden Steam games resurface into some article. We did a video on one of them, and we posted how you can get on them. So if you want, you can check the Dicejunkies channel and look for the hidden Steam game video. And in the comments, there's a description on exactly how to do it for both games that we found out were hidden. Other than that, there was the Orville trailer. Now, this is a sci-fi parody, like Star Trek parody, that will be on Fox. I liked it, man. I thought it looked hilarious.
It looked funnier than the other attempts at that style I've seen. It's Seth MacFarlane, and I actually said, okay, this actually looks like it's going to be funny, you know, compared to some of the hit or miss.
I'm just watching Damien's face right now. Like, if you guys could see Damien's face.
He has a face?
It's not it's not a happy face. So go ahead and spill.
Well, one, I don't like comedy. I watch some comedy, but I don't really care for it. Two, I don't like parodies. To me, that's just, it's like the one with, what was the guy's name? Leslie Nielsen, the airplane. You know.
You don't like Airplane?
No, I don't.
I mean, I like Spaceballs.
Spaceballs is one that I could tolerate. I like Spaceballs.
I mean,
but I don't, in general, I don't like parodies, and I don't really go for comedy, especially when it has to do with Star Trek.
I feel like this is they went and they looked at Tim Allen's what was that, Star Quest?
Oh man, that was a horrible
and
movie.
Said, let's do that right. Because that's what this looks like. This looks like Star Quest.
But
right?
done way better.
Yeah.
Already, like, it looks better.
Just
but
from
that
the
ain't
trailer.
hard.
Now, I could be horribly wrong. It could be really, really bad.
I mean, it's
But,
Fox.
you know, we're going off the trailer. I'm trying to ignore the fact that it's Fox. Because Fox has burnt me so many times. It looked good.
And it's a series. I mean, not a big movie. It's serious. It'll probably be funny for a while. We'll make sure that, you know, you watch at least a little bit of it.
All right. Hey guys, thanks for watching this episode. Be sure to like, subscribe, and down below we have a description with all of our social media. Check that out. You can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, Google+. All the links are down there. You can see some behind the scenes stuff, as well as, you know, just whenever we're posting something, we always post to those medias as well. Also, you can look over to the side here and we'll have some links to some other videos you might want to check out, as well as below you'll see the Dicejunkies icon where you can click to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.